This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
And tonight, I want to know your opinion on mansplaining.
Mansplaining.
Yeah, you see it on the outline, but you're not quite sure where I'm going with it.
Right.
So how do you feel about that? Or what is mansplaining? How about that?
I guess it's like derogatory. I can't say the word derogatorily talking down to people or trying to explain to them like they have no idea what's going on, even though they might. And I don't know. I don't know if I really ever do it. Like I don't encounter it a whole lot.
Okay. So I encountered it a little bit on vacation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if there was an actual mansplaining happening. But I didn't do something or I didn't say something to someone because I felt like I would be mansplaining to them.
Okay.
So here's a story. Just playing disc golf, enjoying my time by myself. And I don't remember where the kids were or what, but there were these two ladies that were playing disc golf. And they were doing a lot of stuff that was just a bit faux pas for disc golf. You know, just like maybe a little off, maybe a little different. And I was like, hey, maybe I should say something. It's like courtesy stuff, like wait till the people are off the hole before you go ahead and throw, that type of stuff. And they were just out there having fun. They were drinking a beer. They had one disc between the two of them, and they were just throwing.
Oh, wow.
So they were just having fun,
Okay.
So, but I was like, I did like the open my mouth and go to talk, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't say anything. Maybe I should just leave it be. Because they threw up on me. They didn't throw up on me.
I get what you're saying.
They threw up to me. They weren't drinking that much.
Okay.
So they threw up to me, and I was getting ready to say something, and a younger version of me would have teed the ball back up and hit it back at him.
Yeah.
If it was a golf course. Or, I might have probably yelled to him or something like that. But I was just like, maybe I should say something. It was like just courtesy, just so they don't do it to the wrong person and this person blows up. And then I thought to myself, no, because I think this will be an instance of mansplaining.
Yeah.
And the reason why, because I like woodworking.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast that was talking about mansplaining because, long story short, they're spray painting something outside when it was too cold. And he walked up to a lady and said, hey, it's not going to cure if you leave it out here. You got to make sure you take it inside. And the lady got really irate at him. And he explained the story. It was really funny. But I was sitting there, that was in my mind. And I was like, okay, so I'm not really asking about mansplaining. Would you have asked or said something to those ladies?
I don't know how drunk were they.
They weren't bad. They weren't bad. I think they were just both razor clawing it and throwing the disc.
I mean, it's one of those things, though. Safety-wise, though, it's something to think about. Like, I don't know how close you were to getting hit, or whatever. I think a situation would be if you were to go up and explain more of like a mechanics thing or like nuances of the game kind of thing, and they're just like, we're just out here to play, or like just having fun like that. Like,
yeah,
approaching women on the golf course is always one of those things where like you might have the best intentions, but it's probably just generally not a good idea to bring things up.
That's what I think too. And I think that's a stigma.
Unless they're asking for something.
Right.
Yeah, right. Totally.
But I think that's a stigma that's not correct. Maybe. I don't know. Neither of us fit that role, so we can't speak on behalf of it.
And it's hard, too, because we have literally had maybe 3 women ever come to Disc Golf League. Mm-hmm. And one of them, like one of the girls who came like all the time, no longer comes because she has work and like can't come. So it's like she was always really good of like being one of us. Like we just consider her
get into the group and go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think there was 2 girls that were basically that way.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know?
yeah. Like I was
Janae,
thinking
Michelle.
Michelle and Janae. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So it's difficult for me because I'm kind of that. I don't like even men. I don't like telling them what to do on the course. If they ask me, I love saying something.
sure.
But I love like kids. I love playing with kids because I like to explain things, or like family members that are new or anything like that, and I like to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And even my kids, like I let them just throw and have fun, but I'll do those little tweaks, like, hey, this time, like act like you're pouring out a cup,
Yeah.
and then they throw it and they're like, this is awesome. But that's probably the only.
Yeah. I mean, but there's a difference between kind of like coaching and yeah. There's like a line.
Yeah, it's such a blurred line. It's a hard line, and the only reason I felt that the mansplaining would bring a little comedy to it is just because I was listening to that thing.
Okay.
And I was just like, man, if I would have walked up to him, do you think they would have walked away and be like, that's another case of mansplaining? Like, I don't know if they would have or wouldn't have, but I just ignored it and played a little faster.
Sure.
You know?
I think I've done that before with. I'm sure I'm guilty of it at home for sure. Like,
I
don't know.
I don't know what it is because I'm perpetually in a leadership role. Like that's my life. So I don't know. I'm sure I do it then. I'm sure if that's the case, I'm sure it happens quite often, but I don't know. I don't really walk up to random people and start mansplaining a situation or what I would assume is mansplaining. And I'm one of those guys. Remember how we talked in the past? Like if you don't know what something is, you're that person.
yeah.
It's probably me.
Okay.
So, all right. So let's talk about what we bought and if it'll be a thrower, a hanger, or a flipper. I got a lot of stuff in the last week and a half.
Yeah, I was gonna say since you've been gone, I got quite a few things.
All right, you go first.
Okay, so trying to think here. Okay, so we had the tournament this past weekend. I bought a Castoplast first run regrind yarn. I forgot. I think it's called yarn. Overstable approach disc. Nice. It's not quite as minty green as like the other first runs because I think it is a regrind. It is the regrind. So I talked to Emily Roscom and Chris Snell. They're big into Castoplast, and I just asked them. I saw them later. I was like, "Oh, hey, how does this throw?" They're like, "Oh, it's really overstable." So I'll definitely get out and try throwing that. I bought a backup special edition James Conrad NV because that has now become my throwing putter instead of the Praxis.
Okay.
And so I was using that a lot during the tournament. And then I bought, what else did I buy? Oh, I bought two of the two elevation discs.
Oh, the floppy ones.
The floppy ones, yeah. So I saw Juliana Schick bought her kids a koi, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So like I was like at the end of the tournament, I was like, I'll get the kids something. So I bought Dempsey an Interceptor, which is a mid-range, and then they just came out with a new fairway driver called the Binks. Did you ever watch Hocus Pocus, the movie? Yeah, from the Disney movie. Okay, so it's the cat as the face of the disc, and I bought that for Maisie, and then I got Lulu Sandy Knoll stamped minis.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and then, what else did I buy? I feel like there was something else. Oh, I was gifted a Castoplast K1 Soft Falk, poison green one. And because I was talking to Chris and Emily, and they're like, have you thrown this disc? I was like, no, I've been throwing my lots, and, I have a Berg. Like, I have a lot of Castoplast at home that I have thrown, but it's not in the bag. Like, I could probably make a Castoplast bag if I wanted to.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think the only thing I would need is like a high-speed driver, like a Grim or Grimax or something like that, and I could probably fill out a Castoplast bag. But they're like, oh yeah, try this, and Josh had them for sale. And then I was walking out to my car, and they were walking out to their vehicle as well, and they're like, here, try this. I was like, okay. And he's like, dude, I have like 8, just take it. I was like,
right.
Oh, okay, cool, thanks, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's why
definitely gonna try that.
I love the community in that regard, and to mention the people that were at the springtime, and we'll talk a little bit about the springtime, but to mention the people that were at the springtime, like I was really impressed with the amount of even Instagram influencers and like people that were out there. I was like the Rhino guy was out there, like, and I didn't recognize any of them. for some reason, because I was just so focused on getting everything done, and
Yeah.
I'd just gotten back from Florida, and I have a bunch of excuses for why I didn't recognize most of them. But then I got back and I started seeing the posts like, hey, this was an awesome event. This was an awesome event. And I'm like, dang it, why didn't I, I talked to so many people, but I didn't reach out to all of
Sure.
them, and it was unfortunate. And like, I would have really liked to kind of make some connections there, but I was glad to see everybody. I mean, 145, on the singles and then 66 on the doubles. Like, that's great.
That's awesome.
Up here for, what are there, 3 courses up here? Only one's an 18.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Wow. That's remarkable. And then I turned in a ton of discs.
I saw that.
Okay. Because my Jordan was working, and my intention was I was going to use my team money and the money I'd gotten to buy a cart because I wanted to bring it out on the course. And so Friday we were playing doubles just at Max as like a practice round. It was like a huge group of us. I texted somebody. I was like, "Oh, is the shop open?" They're like, "It's not open." I was like, "Well, dang it."
Yeah.
But
you should have let me know. I would have met you or got you. Yeah.
No big deal.
I wasn't home at that point.
Yeah.
So
I think Jordan said he would have gone and done, but he had to go and put up signs, and Tyler was going to help him put up signs up at Wildberry. So not the biggest deal. I had to lug my bag around. It kind of messed me up a little bit. But
so it's my fault.
No, we're all good. I'm going to stop in at some point and get one, unless we get the Yuli
They're
cards soon.
supposed to be shipping sometime in the middle of April. So, but if not, I do have a all black compactor.
That's the one I was looking at too. Yeah,
Okay.
all black.
Because it's still in the box. We haven't taken it out of the box.
I
yet.
saw that.
So, yeah. So basically, all of them are gonna be throwers then, huh?
At least to try them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I kind of went FD crazy because I found out that the Hawkeye, which is Haley King's.
Yeah, or I was gonna say Orbit. But the Halo.
Yeah, the Halo Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I bought one of those, and I
Okay.
didn't realize it was a restamp of an FD.
That's it?
And that's all it is. It's an FD.
Interesting.
And I thought and I bought a Dong Rebel.
Okay.
So I bought a what do they call it? The fairway disc.
Yeah.
And then I bought obviously the new FDs.
Okay.
And all 3 of them. The new FDs by Discmania are noticeably more stable.
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
They are like second runs. They're like FD2s.
Okay. Yeah.
Is, I guess what I would compare them to.
There's no turn. They're really straight with very little fade. Like you just throw it. Like I threw it all weekend. I threw it quite a bit, and yeah, they're just straight.
Yeah, yeah.
That was it.
I really like them. I really like them. They very much match the Champion FDs that I currently carry.
Okay.
So now I have 3 FDs in the bag. I have the second run, the OG, and then this one. And the second run and this one, the new line, are very close to each other.
Okay.
Really close. I think the second run has a lot more dump to it at the end, more finish.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like, they're identical. The Hawkeye and the Dong Rebel are both really, really close. So the fairway disc are both very, very close to my traditional, like, beat-in champ standard. I don't know, it's like 7th or 8th or whatever run.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't know what run it is, but very good. But the Hawkeye I really liked, and I liked the Halo plastic. And actually, if you flip the Hawkeye over, you can see the patent number scribed out of the mold.
Really?
You can actually, I wish I had it in here. I should have brought it up.
Yeah.
But where the patent number is,
Okay.
it's actually scraped out.
That's
and you can
crazy.
see the scrape. You can see the spot where
Yeah.
the patent number used to be.
Huh.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. Because when they went on sale, like she had gone on Instagram, and I think they sold out rather quickly because I tried to just look to see what it was. I hadn't heard anything about it, and then that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's straight up an FD. Yeah, it is. It is awesome. Era, I got it from Jordan through you.
Yeah.
Or through Jordan from you.
Yeah.
So you gave it to Jordan to test out.
Yep.
And Jordan handed it to me. And I threw it on a practice throw before the second round of doubles.
Yeah.
And it was on hole 2. And I was, what is that, about 600 footer, like the 590 something, right? I don't remember how
something
far
like
it was.
that.
I
Yeah.
was within a comfortable putter, like, throw. And so I was probably 4:30.
Wow.
Like, with the Era.
Yeah.
And I wanted to immediately get on and be like, Drew Gibson, you're a genius. Like, this is amazing. But it's 10 neg 1.
Yep. 10, 5, neg 1, 2.
Okay. So, yeah, and that's very true.
Because I think we were talking about it being like an orc or something close to it.
That's what it... I haven't thrown an orc in so long.
But you had texted me or you had talked to me and said, like, oh, it's kind of like a musket.
Yes, a musket, yeah. So Jordan confirmed, because Jordan's a musket thrower. And Jordan confirmed it's very similar to a musket. And I feel that it's probably right in that realm. Like, it's escape-ish.
Yeah, a little faster.
A little faster, yeah. Flight is like an escape. You can get a turn out of it. It's going to be reliable and come back. Not beat in yet, but I loved it. Like, it was fantastic.
I thought it was going to be a little more stable out of the box when I threw
assume
it.
So too.
And man, I threw it one time and on like an Anheuser, and I was hoping it was going to fight back, and it just held the Anheuser the whole way. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to try Heiser flipping this next.
Yeah. And I threw it on a hole where you kind of got well, for your reference, it was hole 3-4.
Okay.
But I threw it on that, and what it was is kind of this bending where you got to go left to right and end up in kind of a clear area, landing zone. And I threw it, and I was maybe 10 feet, maybe a little longer than that, maybe about 30 feet from the crest of the hill.
Oh, nice.
Because it just held this nice, beautiful little turnover. And I don't throw high. I mean, you know how I throw pretty low. It just held this beautiful turnover and just flattened out and landed. And I was like, this disc is awesome. So I didn't even touch anything over that 10 speed at that point.
Okay.
I just used the Era the rest of the day because I was throwing it about 400 feet. So I was like, I'm happy with that. I'm not killing myself to throw it. And I'm not getting these errant shots left and right. It's like, so it was awesome. And then a Berg. So I stopped by Glide Disc Golf Shop in Madison when we went and watched the boys' basketball game.
Nice.
And he had a stack of cast supply. I mean, he had so many discs. He's like, I'm prepping up for the... I stopped and talked to him for a little bit. He goes, we usually don't have this much in, but I know, think the floodgates are going to open up pretty soon once everything melts. So he wanted to get everything in. He had a stack of Bergs there, just a ton of them. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to grab a Berg, because anytime I stop at a disc golf shop, I buy something. I grabbed a Berg and an FD, and so another FD. And threw the Berg, the very first time I threw the Berg, I kind of put it on hyzer. I threw it like I would throw my tactic. Just put it on hyzer so it stand up a little bit and then dump.
Yeah.
It stayed on hyzer, went straight, and fell straight down.
Yeah.
It was one of the most amazing discs I've ever thrown. Like, for a very specific shot. Like, it's going to be one of those things where in wooded courses, I'm going to see a good value in it because you don't want that left to right action or the right to left action. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm super happy about it. So all of these are going to be throwers, but the Berg.
Was it a K1?
It was K1 Soft.
Okay.
A black K1 Soft. And then I also purchased recently from Josh while I was at the tournament a K1, just K1, no, K1 Firm. Is there a Firm? Or?
No, I think it's just straight K1.
Okay.
There's K3 hard, K3. There used to be K2, but K2 became K... I don't even know.
Okay.
The K2 changed to something else. It might be K1 soft now.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, because whatever it is, it's stiff.
Okay.
It's a lot stiffer now. So, but I haven't thrown that one yet. So yeah, that's what I bought. Yeah, I don't think there was anything else I bought. I don't think, anyways. So, all right. So a quick preview of the full show is we're going to talk about $10,000 matching. We're going to talk the meme of the week. I saw it and I just have to share it.
Okay.
Springtime recap. We'll hit that softly. We won't hit it too hard. Our spring break talk. Tournament talk. So Music City, Throw It on the Mountain, and then Joel Freeman. We'll just throw that in there.
Yeah.
And then the random question we'll get to, and then we'll do some shop updates, and then we'll go to bed.
Sounds good.
Or record the 15-minute.
Oh, yeah, that too.
How about that? So, all right. I guess since the first one is $10,000 matching, I'll go ahead and jump into it. So $10,000 matching. So this month on paulmcbethfoundation.com, .org, paulmcbethfoundation.org, there is a $10,000 matching giving campaign that's going on right now. There is basically $2,100 that's been raised already. And what that is you have heard us talk about it once on this, is my wife and I have decided to give $10,000 to the Paul McBeth Foundation as a matching contribution. So if you have been thinking about giving or want to give, jump over there, paulmcbeth.org, paulmcbeth.org, paulmcbethfoundation.org. I'll get it right.
That's important.
Yes, the paulmcbethfoundation.org. Jump right on there, and your dollar come 2, your 10 will come 20. If you want to donate, well, about 7,900, it'll end up turning into, double that. So, but we will be matching. My wife and I have always had a hard time outwardly giving and letting people know what we're doing. So it's kind of, and Dustin is aware of that. And so it's kind of a little vague of who's giving, but it is us through Door Disc Golf. So there you go. So go on there, donate, and I'll match it. Outside of that, meme of the week. Are you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Did I say it right? Am I saying it how the cool kids say it? Meme,
Yes.
meme.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So it is a meme that has has Calvin Heimberg and Ricky Wysocki.
I just saw this.
And Ricky Wysocki, Calvin Heimberg says, "They can't let me trash talk. I'd live rent free in Ricky's head." And Ricky responds with a picture of him below saying, "You live rent free in a van, Ringo. Can't hear you trash talk from my helicopter." And the pictures are perfect.
Yeah, I saw that.
So did you see the interview when Calvin said that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, Terry interviewed him, and I heard that. I thought that was pretty funny because I was like, yeah, he gets into it with people on OTB skins, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think he should let loose.
Oh yeah,
Like I think he should do it during a tournament.
That's a total like getting people's heads like that'll help.
Absolutely, and he cited the courtesy.
Yeah,
But,
right.
Man, I think it does us a discourtesy for not doing it.
Right.
He should be running that mouth.
Yeah.
He doesn't even run his mouth. It's perfectly timed, and it's in the right spot. It's the right words, the right tempo, the right cadence. I mean, it's just perfect. The trash talk he does.
Someone had thrown that up. I think it was fake PDGA on Facebook. They had posted that meme.
Okay.
And someone down in the comments was like, "Yeah, didn't I just see Ricky selling discs the other day, last month or something like that? Because he's flat broke." I was like, "No,
right.
He's not anymore."
No.
He said something like that, this is bankrupt. But my favorite Calvin trash talk was at the what was it, match play? He was going up against Chris Clemens, and Chris is, they asked Chris something about "Oh, do you think you can get in Calvin's head? Do you think you can do it?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, And then Calvin deadpans "It's gonna be pretty hard when you're 10 down through 8."
Exactly. See, that's perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah,
It's perfect.
And he's like, "Fair enough." Yeah.
Yeah. Because in reality, when you play on a course with your buddies, what do? I think there's honestly something wrong with you if you actually say "nice shot."
Yeah.
You can't say "nice shot." I mean, unless it's honestly a nice shot, yeah, give credit.
Yeah.
But it has to be immediately followed up with something smart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For a girl or something, whatever it is.
That'll get you in trouble nowadays.
Oh yeah, sorry, mansplaining.
Yeah.
So that was the meme of the week.
Nice.
Springtime recap. Basically, we had the 5th annual Springtime Open here up in Door County. And one was canceled.
Yeah. 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
Nope.
We don't talk about Bruno. Have you been watching that yet?
Lulu's, she was watching that religiously for almost every day.
Did you lose the tape?
No, I mean just streaming it on Disney.
Yeah.
And then the movie Turning Red came out.
Oh,
and
it's a
so
good one,
she
too.
got into that because she's like, "Oh, the red panda."
Yeah.
And so she knows everything. She will sit there and watch and act out the whole movie.
Really?
Oh yeah, for a 3-year-old, she's super smart. And she'll just what the heck?
It's amazing how they latch onto something. It was what was the one with the monster trucks, monster machines? Something in the monster machines. It was monster trucks
Okay.
Malachi. But yeah, for those of you that got kids, Encanto, it's really good.
It is.
The first like 40 times.
Now they have a sing-along version with all the
They
all
do?
the words and stuff are down at the bottom of the movie and stuff.
Oh, yeah, my road trip was filled with that.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. I really enjoyed it. But after you sing it like 30 times in a car at the top of your lungs with your kids and your wife, and we went driving because my niece was driving next to me, and we went driving past her like she had got in front of us. So I was like, okay, everybody, we rolled down all the windows. You know, we're like 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, like wind is going crazy. And we're screaming like we don't talk about Bruno as we're driving down the highway,
God.
like dancing. It was a pretty cool moment. Enjoyed it. And then we just rolled up the windows and went back to normal. So, yeah, so the springtime, it was a great tournament. It's a tournament, 5th annual. The only one we didn't do was a 2020. So Josh Ham from Riverside Disc Golf, Door Disc Golf, do it jointly. And, we set up the course. And big thanks to Tyler and Jordan and everybody else that put in time and effort into getting the course set up because I was in Florida enjoying sunshine. And came back to a ready-to-go course and tournament. And it was 145 people, 66 people for doubles the next day. Had awesome showing. Everybody seemed to enjoy, except for a couple people. We have the flex start in Bailey's, and someone immediately dropped out because of the Bailey's, because of Wildberry.
Really?
They said they didn't like it, or it was too hard, or wasn't enjoyable. I don't remember what it was, but basically they didn't do good on it.
Okay.
I looked up their score.
Yeah.
And I was like, I see why you don't want to play the flex, which makes sense. But the ratings on that course are astounding.
Yeah.
I mean, even is like a 970. No, even was a 940 something.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's high.
So
that's higher than what I thought it would be.
I thought it was too high, but I think as the tournaments get played and the flexes get played, it'll slowly come down. But it has teeth, though. That course has teeth. We don't realize it because we've been playing it, but
oh no, it got me good this weekend. That's for sure. It got everybody.
got a lot of people. There wasn't a single local that played under par on it.
Nope.
And I was like, I don't know the last time I didn't play under par. And I don't go hugely under par, but I'm always like 1, 2, 3 under par. And I was like, man, I could have whomped if I would have played, but maybe not.
I don't know. Yeah.
It was nasty weather too.
Yeah, I mean, it snowed right as we got to the course. Like start time was 9, and I was there around 8:30, maybe a little after that, and just warming up a little bit, and huge flakes, and then turned to rain for a while, and then it stopped, and then it was like off and on all day.
Yeah. Then it got windy and nasty at the end of the day.
Yeah.
When after you switched courses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was bad. So, but yeah, successful tournament. Big thanks for everybody that made it happen. And next year, it'll be the same. We're actually having conversations that it might happen in July next year.
July? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
So they want to do it in July.
How's that going to work out with golf, like mid-season golf?
That's what I said. There's a lot of hurdles because this was brought up by the staff at Max's, not the staff at the golf course.
Okay.
And I said, we'll see.
Yeah.
But next year we'll see. Hopefully we can have a conversation with the owners of Max.
Yeah.
And see if we can get them to open up the motel and bar and all that stuff.
Yeah,
the bar was open, but
there's no running water.
No, not this year.
Yeah.
Not this year. Yeah, they couldn't do it. But we brought in the porta potty, so we kind of made up for it. But
I would love to see something on the other side of the road, just for something different. Like the past 5 years, like I like the course setup now, but it'd just be interesting to see what we can get set up on the other side.
I think we can introduce water on the other side. Isn't there a pond on the other side?
I think so.
I can't remember.
I don't know.
Long since I've actually
I haven't played golf there in so long.
Yeah. But I think I'm constantly in talks every time I talk with Jim, who's the manager of the course, that like, hey, let's get a permanent one. So we'll see. All right. And then on to the big tournaments, the ones that people actually care about.
Right. Wait, there was other major discs.
I know, geez.
Crazy.
You guys didn't watch the springtime? Actually, we didn't talk spring break. What'd you do on spring break?
Nothing. I worked.
Did you really?
Yeah, I worked the whole time. We didn't
Okay.
really have anything set up. We originally were thinking about going to Florida just to go down and see my parents, and just never made any kind of plans at
Never
all.
did.
Alyssa did take the kids while I was working to the Kalahari in in Wisconsin Dells. So they said that was fun. It's huge. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like they have the water park, and then they have like inside. There's another section that's like kind of like a carnival area or whatever it is. I don't know, but yeah, they went down there for a night, and Alyssa said it was almost too big. Like it sucked too because like she had to have Lulu with her, so like they couldn't go on a lot
That
of
would
stuff.
be difficult. Yeah.
Like we typically go across the street to Great Wolf Lodge, which is significantly smaller, but the kids can kind of, Dempsey and Maisie's age, can kind of run around and we like keep tabs on them that way as long as.
Right.
And she said there was a lot of people just because it was spring break and stuff going on, but they had fun, so that was pretty much it. And then tournament. So that was spring break.
We got to drive and then stand in line.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like the amount of time we spent in line at Disney.
Yeah. How many days did you guys go?
With 3 days.
Okay.
So we did Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and then Hollywood, Planet Hollywood, or Hollywood Kingdom, or Hollywood.
I forgot what it's called, but
whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
So we did those 3, and the last day at Hollywood Studios, it was miserable. Miserable.
yeah.
But the reason why is because there's not a lot of coverage there, like sun coverage. And I'm, a white boy from Wisconsin. Like, I'm not used to that sun anymore. Like, I was raised down there, but I was raised in Florida. But man, it's a different level of heat. Like, and it was like 85-ish or so. But especially in the Star Wars area,
Oh, really?
man, it was crazy.
Okay.
The amount of, like, the Millennium Falcon
Yeah.
got up to about 4-hour wait.
What?
So we
to
we
walk,
had a-
just you can walk around inside of it.
No. This was like you like fly it.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Because
a ride.
because I know it's outside in Star Wars Galaxy, and I didn't
Yes.
know if you could like actually go walk around inside
You
of it. or not.
cannot, from what I understand, go inside.
Oh,
of it.
okay.
I didn't see anybody going inside of it, and
Yeah.
we were there for a long time.
That's the only reason I want to go back to Disney is to go to the Galaxy or whatever it is called.
If it was another day, like if we would have went there first, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot. But I think by the time that I had gotten there, I was just done.
Yeah.
I was tired of being around so many people, tired of standing in lines. And my kids, they were awesome. Like, they did so well. Like, Malachi hit one point where he was super tired. But, I looked at him and was like, hey, like, you need to calm yourself down. Immediately stopped. Like, he was an angel. And usually I was like, man, this is going to be rough. But no, he was great.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I think it was so much focus, And then in lines, we were like playing heads up and stuff like that. So, I mean, it was enjoyable the whole time. But I think by the end of it, I was just like, that's it. And then they wanted to go on the Tower of Terror. And I was one of the very first people to ever ride that ride when they opened it up. Pretty close to it. I think that was one of the rides. And yeah, because it was like back in 98 or something, 97.
I remember it was an Alfred Hitchcock thing back in the day or something like that when it first opened.
Right. Yeah. It followed because they relaunched the movie. I don't remember how it goes.
Yeah.
But anyways.
It changed up at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was during the remodel or whatever, but I remember I was one of the very first ones to get on whatever rendition it was. And it was awesome. It was fun. The whole story of walking through the place and the guide that takes you through and the story that they put behind it. I mean, it's really cool. But I was just like, that's it. And I had rode that Millennium Falcon in the morning.
Yeah.
I think it was in the morning. And I'm not good on motion rides. So we did the Avatar the day before at Animal Kingdom. And that, like, threw me for a loop. Like, I was good. Like,
Okay.
I got through the rest of the day. And then the next day, oh, man, it was so bad. It was so bad. So, but other than that, it was awesome. And I can't wait we're going to try to go back, but we're going to try to do, like, Legoland or Busch Gardens.
Yeah.
And then pick one day to go to one of the other parks.
Cool.
So, and then we stayed on site, which was really nice, but it's like $400 a night for the room.
Yeah.
It was crazy
I
expensive.
haven't been there probably in 20 years or so. Yeah. Long time.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I'm walking around the park like, yeah, this is, but, and then I'm like, where's Fievel? where's the 5-0 land? Like there used to be a 5-0 land. And we were standing in this area where they're building Tron.
Oh, wow.
And it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like I can't wait for Tron to come out or to open up. But we were standing in the area where Tron, and then I saw like the...
Wait, is it like, are they repurposing an area to Tron?
I think so.
Or is it
because there used to be a train that used to be able to get on for 5-0. It was like this little round thing where you could like shoot out the windows and stuff. If I remember rightly. This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like in the late 90s. And I think that's what they were using. Because I saw the station where the train was, but there's no 5-0 land anymore. It's like Goofy's Air. I don't remember what it is, but the best ride, the two best rides I went on, one was the Slinky Dog from Toy Story. I don't remember what it's called.
Okay.
But it's a roller coaster.
Oh, cool.
Dude, it is good.
Okay.
It's like in the like kid area.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty awesome roller coaster. And then I went on the Rock and Roll roller coaster. It's Aerosmith.
Oh,
It goes
interesting.
from like 0 to 60 in like, I don't know, you're supposed to be pull like 4 or 5 G's or something like that. Like Gabby said she couldn't breathe.
Oh, crazy.
Like
Wow.
it planted her in the seat.
Yeah.
And it does like 3 inversions. And it's like Space Mountain. You can't see a thing. All it is like highlighted areas. Like you come down, like you do a loop and you're in the complete pitch black and you're coming down the loop. All of a sudden and it's fast.
Yeah.
Like you can tell it's fast.
Oh, man.
But it was really good though.
I remember riding through Space Mountain, and I remember like the one thing they told you was like, don't put your hands up.
Yep.
Because like there's bars and stuff in there, and like your wrists and stuff will get hit. I always liked Big Thunder Mountain. That was one of my favorite rides. Splash Mountain was fun. And then what was the other one?
The Matterhorn
Yeah.
used to be.
Yeah.
But I think they turned the Matterhorn into the Seven Dwarfs. It's like you sit in a train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Kind of
then
like that.
Pirates of the Caribbean was good. Like, in the water, and
It broke.
yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't go on
There
it.
was one other thing that I remember, but Jungle Cruise. Yeah, like, but
Yeah.
this is all stuff when I was
Little.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so
That's cool.
That was our spring break. So, let's talk Music City.
Okie dokie.
So you pull that up.
Yeah.
So it was a good tournament.
It was a good tournament. I didn't see a whole lot of it. I watched a little bit here and there just because gone all weekend. So I was like, Monday after work, I was like, I'm tired. Yesterday I had some stuff to do, so I really didn't get to watch a whole lot. But yeah, Chris Dickerson ended up taking it down. Wired. I think he won. Yeah, he went the whole way.
Yeah, basically wire to wire. I mean, I think there was a couple times where people slipped ahead of him on cards that started before him, but
Yeah.
basically it was his show the whole time. And the amazing thing about Chris Dickerson is you don't realize how good he really is, and the distance he has is incredible. And in this Music City, like I was watching some of it, and I mean, he was like out driving on these tight, awesome lines. Like it was just amazing to watch. I mean, Chris Dickerson, more and more, I think he's an elite level player, top 5, in that realm for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And then Missy Gannon, right?
Yeah, Missy Gannon ended up taking it down for the FPO.
Yeah. And that's good to see. And I was listening to an interview where she was being asked about it, and she's like, it's nice to win. He goes, but Evelina was only 2 strokes behind her, and she was putting like 23% circle 1. But she felt like it was a good win, but she didn't feel like it was the best win. And especially with Tatar and Paige. And
Kristen just ended up, she left. She's back. She went back to Estonia before coming back.
Yeah, she's taking a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean, a lot of pros were taking this week off to get ready for Champions Cup.
Yep. And passing on Tallahassee, a lot of pros are dropping out of Tallahassee too.
Yeah.
So, which is another silver series.
Yep.
And then any other notables that you can think of on there? You want to mention?
See. Well, Adam Hammis, I'll just go through
Adam Hammis was 3 strokes back from.
So 3 strokes back from Dickerson. Top 10 was there was a lot of people tied for 10. Justin Rosick, Aaron Gossage, Luke Taylor, Kyle Klein. There was Joel Freeman, Jake won in 8th, Garrett Gerthy 7, Alden Harris 6th, and he had one bogey the entire tournament.
Yes.
That was pretty awesome. He had a good interview on Nick and Matt show the other day too. That I listened to. I keep forgetting that he's so young too.
He's 21.
21,
right?
yeah. Which is crazy. Ezra Aderhold 5th, Nico in 4th, Lori Littinen in 3rd, and then Hamilton. And that Lori Littinen played lights out too. He played really well. I didn't get to see a whole lot of them, but I just like saw the scorecard. I was like, okay, front 9. I think he might have last round front 9. He might have gone 9 for 9 or something like that. I know there's some talk of switching this. They need to perhaps redo the course for Music City.
Again? Didn't they redo it this year?
I thought they did, but the way scoring went, they thought maybe it was just a little too easy.
A little too soft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so you mentioned Joel Freeman.
Yeah.
So let's get into that a little bit.
Yeah. That's an interesting situation.
So from what I understand, Joel Freeman is a guy that knows the rules very well.
Right.
Like better than anybody is from what I'm hearing. And when he made the choice to take casual relief, I think it was a miscommunication because, you hear Nathan Queen, because I had to watch it because I heard about it. We were sitting at the tournament and I was like, what? And then David Werner, my partner, was telling me that, hey, you got to see this or what's going on because Joel Freeman just put up this post.
Right. And then I know Tyler and Jordan were talking about it in our group text too.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So basically what it was is it was a unplayable lie. What Joel Freeman said it was an unplayable lie because I guess they were in a thorn thicket and he felt like he couldn't get to it. Nathan Queen and whoever else was on the card walked over. Was it Dickerson, I think? Both walked over.
Yeah.
And said... Or I think Nathan Queen, his story on the coverage says that he said, I could get to that.
Yeah.
And then they both walked away. And
right.
Dickerson and him were still kind of communicating about it.
Right. And then Joel Freeman
Joel went ahead and played it through.
Right.
And then at the end of the, what they assumed is that Joel Freeman was just taking the stroke and playing because he didn't want to crawl into the thicket.
Right.
And then when they get to the next hole to take scores, they're like, hey, no. So then he had to take an additional stroke because of. So, yeah. And then he had to go do a rules clarification called the TD out on 17 because of a lie. Was it a lie issue?
Yes.
Yeah, because he didn't make it in bounds.
Right.
And he was trying to play the directly from where your disc landed 3 meters in bounds because there was no designated drop zone.
Yes. And you can take, because now it's a 180 from where you go out of bounds. Like you can move closer to the basket. It's no longer just take your lie back from a direct line from the basket of where you went out. So you can actually move in a meter towards the basket. Yeah,
as long as your stance is still legal in bounds, you can take it.
And
that's an advantage that a lot of people should know is that basically if you take your point where your disc went out of bounds, it has to be out of bounds, not on the boundary line.
Yes, it has to be out of bounds.
It has to be the actual stroke out of bounds. You take that and you basically have a half a circle to play within, a 1 meter half circle to play within. So you can go forward, backward, straight off the line.
Yeah, it used to be perpendicular or infinite line back as long as you're in line with the basket.
Right. Yeah. So you could take the relief, or not the relief. You could take the place straight back away from the basket, however far you want to go back.
Yep.
As long as you're still on the course, of course. Or you can come 1 meter in and perfectly perpendicular to the OB line, not to the basket.
Yeah,
to the
OB line.
Yep. So,
excuse me.
Yeah, he was. I didn't hear anything.
Right.
He farted.
Gas man.
So yeah. Why do they call me that? I think he was trying to cough at the same time and he missed the timing. Joel. So Joel Freeman was just trying to play the rules a little bit.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. The TD came out, made the decision, and that was it. And he played it from where it was. So, or from where he went out of bounds. I don't see anything wrong really with what he did. I don't really see anything wrong with anything. I mean, other than
I guess like the thing about the thorns was it wasn't a group consensus.
right.
So like unless it's a group consensus and you can come up with an argument as to why he should or shouldn't have,
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of on the group, you know.
Right,
like
right. Well, and I think him playing a lie before it was clear what the decision was, is Joel's fault.
Yeah.
And that's nobody else's fault but Joel's.
Yeah.
But there is some earnest on the card to say, whoa, 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 what are you doing? We didn't say whether it was inbounds or out of bounds. I mean, or if it was playable or not playable.
Right.
And there's no decision by the TD saying that these thorns were out of bounds, you know?
Yeah. Like anything. Yeah. Like,
or these thorns were casual.
because this was brought up about, there's a lot of rain on the course for springtime. And so, you know, it's up to the TD, to walk the course to make sure, like, okay, if this is there, you know, you get so much casual relief. So, yeah.
And that happened at the tournament where they said you can take it to the right or the left, you know, take a reasonable distance right or left for safe footing for the tee pads or behind the tee box.
Yep.
And everybody basically used that and it was fine.
Yeah.
But with that, he specified thorn areas, but this one wasn't where Joel was.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's things to be learned from there. And I think he went live afterwards, and I caught probably the last half of it.
Okay.
And the part that I caught, he was basically just saying, you know, he was addressing the reaction to his post at that point. And he was basically just saying, like, why does it have to be so mean or so rude, like these reactions? Like, he goes, you know, I made the decision, I made that post. It is what it is. I was expressing my feelings. I wasn't calling anybody out, and then now you guys are bashing me and calling me names and doing stuff like that. And he goes, why can't we all just be humans and get along? And, you know, that was basically the part that I caught. So I didn't catch the front end of it.
Okay.
But it seemed like, you know, for me, he seemed like he was addressing it. He was speaking about it. I don't know. I've not been a fan, nor am I not a fan of Joel. Like, I think he's a great player.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we played with him that one time in Vegas when he somehow ended up way down by us our first year. But stand-up guy. You know, he very confident, maybe overly confident back then. I don't know how he is now. But, I mean, deservedly so.
Yeah.
So, throw it on the mountain. Calvin just got edged out by Paul by one.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I was surprised. Like, I knew it was happening this weekend, but I didn't realize like how many big names were actually going to be there compared to as Music City. You know, like.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Throw Down the Mountain was a qualifier event.
Oh, USCDC.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I think a lot of more big name players were there rather than, you know, you get, is it like a quarter of the points or 75% of the points for a Silver Series? Yeah. So, I mean, when it comes down to the end of the year, when you're trying to go to the Pro Tour, you know, Tour Championship, you can't have those extra points, you know, that other people aren't having, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah, but, you know, for people like Calvin, for Paul.
Well, they're already qualified.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter for him. But Paul goes to Throw It on the Mountain, I think, every year.
I think so.
Maybe last year he didn't, or maybe he did. But he had, like, one of those bang-up rounds there. I think he threw, like, a 16 or 17 under there. Like, he was almost going to shoot the 18 under, like, almost back-to-back from one of the tournaments, if I remember rightly. That year he did the 218 unders, the first year at Discraft.
I think I watched that.
Yeah, because everybody was wondering, and then 18 is where he lost it somehow, if I remember right.
I do remember that.
Because you got to throw down into the cliff, and he was trying to run it on top of the cliff. And he put himself in a real weird position, and he parred it.
I thought there was some other weird hole that he tried to throw a roller, and something happened as well.
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, yeah, so they did well. And who won on the women's side? Do you have that
Ellen
up?
Widboom ended up beating Lisa Fakis.
Yep.
And Hannah McBeth took third.
Yes. Yeah, that was nice to see that. I like seeing her at the top of the, because she's geez, the McBeths are like, they are the first family of disc golf, it almost seems, you know.
Right.
I mean, the Jenkins might be a little offended by that. But so, all right. So let's get into Jordan's random question.
All right.
All right. So this question is a little more serious than what he normally gives us.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
who is the best commentator in disc golf? Hands down.
Hands down.
If you had to pick only one, who is the best commentator? So while we're thinking,
That's tough.
it is tough because we're going to offend somebody. So be ready for it.
Yeah.
I know who my least favorite one is. So he says he's going to go with the best love commentator is already Brian Earhart. I think he messed up. I think he says the commentator he loves the best
Oh, okay.
is Brian Earhart.
Okay.
But he says the best post-production commentator is Sarah Hokum. I wholeheartedly disagree with his second pick. She's not bad, but I think there's much better.
I don't. I can tell you somebody that I listened to for women's coverage that I did not enjoy.
Ooh, who?
Holly Finley. I hate to say it, but there was her excitement level or fake excitement level for things was just kind of like, this is too much. Like,
Was
too
it the
much-
DOS syndrome for me?
A little
Was
bit
it similar to
yeah.
that? Okay.
She was with Madison Walker. I forgot what I forgot what term I was watching, and she was sitting there. But like, there's some things where like a disc would be like flying too far or like rolling too fast, and she like simmer. I was like, this needs to stop. This is no like I nothing against Holly, nothing against her game, but just commentary wise, I was like, her and Madison didn't mesh
Yeah.
terribly well. I missed having Erica. The
Two hot geese.
Yeah.
So Erica Stitchcomb's van has the two hot geese symbol on it.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, like, Jordan goes, two hot geese, honk. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? No clue what he was doing. And then I looked over at the van and I was like, oh. Because we were parked like right behind it.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, two hot geese, honk. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I was like, why are you honking? Because they honk.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, I forgot about that. So neither of those make my top.
Okay.
I have to, and this is such a bandwagon thing maybe, but for me, it is truly like Nate Sexton is awesome. Like, I think he plays both roles pretty well for post-produced.
Yeah.
I think I think he's the best, in my opinion. Live coverage, that's just so hard. I mean, I like Earhart. I've heard him in live coverage a couple times, and I like him. But I wouldn't put him at the top, because if it was just one commentator, it's hard, because I love Philo
And Ian together.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I love them together.
Yeah.
But I also like Terry and Philo.
Okay.
I don't have any issues with Terry. I think Terry's one of the better ones there are out there, too.
I like Terry better as a field reporter than I do in studio, I think.
I think so, too. I mean, I wouldn't say that I don't. Yeah, I think so, too. I think that's fair.
I think when he's, for live coverage, like, I like that when he's doing his post-produced for, the disc golf guy, he's fine there. With, if he's with somebody else. But I don't know, something about him live, I don't like as much as when he's doing his own post-produced.
Yeah.
I guess I like Ian. I like Ian a lot. I think that's just
And that's post-produced or for live?
for live.
Okay.
Even post-produced when he's with, when he's doing CCDG, I still like him a lot. I mean, it's hard for me I watch Joe Mez more than anybody, or, any other, gatekeeper or anybody else. But to me, the three-headed monster of Yuli, Germ, and Sexton, like they have the best banter between them, like the knowledge and everything. And I can't pick any one of those guys above the other. They're just so good together.
Right.
It's kind of hard to me to pick.
Yeah. Was it Music City or was that Texas States? No, it wasn't States. That had Nathan Queen, and it was a Silver Series.
They were just Nathan Queen was just doing Silver Series for.
That was Music City, right?
I think so, and he was with Chandler Fry for this past, and then he was with. He was doing. I think he did Belton too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
I forgot who he's with Belton. I like Nathan. He did stuff with Gatekeeper for quite a while, and he would do stuff with Kevin Jones.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. And so Kevin Jones and Nathan Queen would do Gatekeeper, I think, or Kevin Jones was GK Pro for a while to it, or no,
it was Gatekeeper.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. But,
and Brian Earhart and Nate Perkins were with Gatekeeper for a long time too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like Earhart, and I'm excited to see him, and I think I'm hoping he's going to be a better live than, because he did the post round interviews, and I was like, don't do those again. Like,
okay.
I don't know if you saw them or not.
No, I didn't see it.
They weren't great. He wasn't great. You could tell he was a bit nervous.
Yeah.
And I think he'll work into it. I think he's going to be a good commentator across the board, but I think his forte is going to be. I don't know. I think his forte is going to be post-produced, but I think he can do very well in live as well.
Yeah.
Well in live as well. That was a lot of wells.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I have to pick, it's going to be. I like Philo. I just like Philo because I think there's a suaveness to him, a smoothness to him, a coolness to him that no other live commentator has.
Yeah.
And post-produce is going to be Sexton.
Okay.
If I had to pick between the three, I mean, I think that three-headed monster, as you say, like, I think those three guys, I would rather listen to them. And I think sometimes they get a little too slapsticky.
Yeah, sometimes.
But I like it.
Yeah.
I don't have any issues. But for the professional feel that everybody keeps talking about, like, maybe they're not the best group, but I just like what Sexton does out of the three of them because I think he can lean either direction, and he kind of pulls them back, too.
Yes.
A lot of times. So
that's true.
But, yeah, I like him. So what were your picks?
I like Ian. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, it's hard for me to pick a host. I'm gonna go. I guess I like Nathan Queen for post produce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he is good. He is good. I've been listening to him more and more, and he's good. I wish there would have been a little bit more fairness because I think he's being painted for the Joel Freeman fans. He's being painted in a bad picture because of the way that he talked about the situation. Yeah. It is what it is. He's talking from his point of view. Yeah. And Joel's talking from his point of view, and I'm sure it's somewhere right in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm sure Dickerson has a point of view too as well. He's not going to say it, but I'm sure he has it in there.
Yeah.
So, so that's our thoughts on the crazy questions.
Which wasn't so crazy.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. Do you have a crazy question?
No, no.
I had a really good one laying in bed last night.
Yeah.
And poof.
Oh, gone. Bummer.
Like a fart in the wind.
Yeah.
So, shop updates. Here we go. We're having finish line errors coming out. So, awesome story about those. Picked the phone, called Infinite. Was like, hey, got any of those finish line discs? No, sorry, we don't. And he goes, wait, hold on. Okay. They're going to go up on the site really soon. Got them up on the site. There were X outs.
Oh, really?
So I got like 20 finish line errors coming.
Oh, awesome.
Or 15, or something like that.
Cool.
But they're all X outs.
Yeah.
So they're double stamped or whatever they are.
Still.
Yeah, I was happy with it. Got the Agents in, the new putter from DD.
I don't know much about those, but someone told me they're kind of like, I don't know if they're like P2s.
That's what they feel like to me. They're a little blunt nosed.
Okay.
So they're kind of P2 alpaca, whatever clone you want to look at.
Okay.
Is what they seem to be. They're deep though. Are they? They're pretty deep, and I'm not too familiar with P2s on how deep they are, but man, it seems deep, like deeper than a Warden deep.
Oh. Okay.
So, and then we have some Infinite molds coming in. So we got like, what's the famous fairway driver they have?
The Centurion?
No, the one that's a little less stable than that. Anyways, we got some of their molds.
Okay. I mean, that's the Centurion's like the FD. That's the only one I've really thrown. Otherwise, the Scepter is like a Firebird. The Chariot, which is like a MD3. It's a mid clone.
So I know we got Emperors.
Yeah.
I know we do have some Scepters coming in, and there was one other one that we're having coming in, but there was 3 Infinite molds we're bringing in.
Well, that's cool.
And
probably pick some of those out.
Lone Star Penny Putt I have coming in, just a putter from Lone Star.
Okay.
Because I just wanted to pull some in, see what their plastics like, because they're plastic, they're molded, they're everything in Texas.
That's awesome.
And I think that's the only disc line that's molded 100%. Everything comes from the United States, is sourced in the United States.
Wow.
I think that's their claim. I think.
That's cool.
Yeah. FDs coming in, new FDs, Mutants, Splice. So Splices are in. The Mutants they're actually going to be delivered tomorrow.
Well, that's why I was curious, because I was on the site looking for Mutants, and I was like, typed it in. It's like, we have Splices, but we don't have Mutants.
Yeah, so, some reason, when I went to order the Splices and the Mutants, I could get the Splices, but the Mutants were out.
Oh, weird.
And when I went back on, because someone had told me FDs were back on the site for retailers, and I was like, great, I'm going to go grab some FDs. And then I noticed that the Mutants were up, but there was like 400 of them left or something.
Wow.
So I nabbed some Mutants. So we got the Mutants and the Splices coming.
Man, the Splices are so overstable.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah. The Discraft Tour Series, we should be getting anytime now, like everybody else. So pretty soon we should be getting those. And then the first hot stamp and foils are in for our hot stamping machines.
Cool.
So we're going to do it for the Pinecrest, that Amflex
we're
doing in Howard, that Ben Kowalski is doing. I hope I said that right, Ben. But Ben is doing it on behalf of us, or in partnership with us. So we're helping him out with everything. And what we're going to do is just basically use some of our stock run stuff that's sitting in there. Like we have some Matt Bell steadies and things like that we want to push around. So we're going to throw a Pinecrest stamp on them and get them to him. So
nice.
And then it'll be for the those things, the player packs.
Is it a flex start or
it is a flex?
Okay.
It's a flex in Howard at Pinecrest. They got new baskets and they should be going in really soon. And I know that there are 2 other individuals that want us to work with them down there. And I just said, at this point, like, we're working with Ben. We really want to keep Ben involved. If Ben wants to partner with you guys, that's awesome. If not, then I just want to chat with him first before we start, doing other things. But I guess there is like Baird Creek and things like that where people just want to see tournaments on them. And I'm wondering why nobody does tournaments in Green Bay. Because there's great courses down there.
I know. I've often wondered that as well. Cause
is it just that there's no local presence to do it?
I don't know.
Or is it that they're so expensive?
Yeah, that could. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because any TD other than I guess you've assistant TD'd a couple things here and there, like any TD like is like Sheboygan South or Manitowoc South, pretty much. Like I haven't heard any rumblings of a club or really anything going on in Green Bay.
Yeah, there's 2. There's like the Green Bay Area Disc Golf Club and the Appleton Area Disc Golf.
Yeah.
And then Appleton is like John Turlap and Brad and those guys. But Brad, I think, is in like between the 2. So I thought he was in the Green Bay area, and some Kevin Reinders is as well from Pandemonium.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not sure why. What I'm assuming is that there's probably a course fee or a event fee that's probably way too large.
That could be.
In the Green Bay area. Because Howard, there was nothing. I mean, there was a small fee, but doable.
Yeah. I mean, I used to live across the street from Baird Creek, and it's okay. Like, I don't know if I'd ever want to play a tournament there. It's a fine course to just go and throw down a couple big hills.
Yeah. Well, they did their expansion on the backside. I don't know if you played it since
no,
they did,
I haven't.
Like in the woods that would be the east side of the park, I think.
Okay.
But like, you start up on the hill.
Yeah.
And you throw down. So to the right of that hole, like way down in the woods, they added some more baskets down there.
Okay. I know for sure there was at least one down that way last time I played. I mean, this was 15 years ago. So it's been a long time.
Yeah. I know it was pretty fresh when Jordan and I played it. Or was it just me? Anyways, it was pretty fresh when I played it. those back holes in the woods. And that was maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Okay.
So the first time I played it. So, but yeah, but we're hoping to look to get a couple more out there, and then we're going to start, I guess, other shop updates is we'll probably sit back and look at team and see if we're happy with the team size that we have, or if we can invite a couple more people. And that's really about it.
Yeah, I know I sent somebody your way.
I did have a couple people ask about, so
Yeah.
I have a couple, and there's one guy that seems pretty good. I chatted with him on the phone, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just all whether we have the ability to actually, take care of our team the way they should be taken care of.
Yeah.
And I think we failed at that last year, and we want to do a better job this year. So I kind of want to focus on making sure that we're doing what we should be doing as a sponsor. Because, for us, as like, we're not worried about winning. We're not worried about social media or advertising us, selling our discs, anything like that. We really want to make sure you're promoting the sport and in a good, healthy manner. That's really what we're excited about. We just want the people that you want to be on a card with in a tournament.
Well, speaking of the team, Michael Cunningham.
Oh, yeah. We got to give him a shout out.
He won advanced.
He did, yes.
Yeah.
MA won with an 11 under. So on the day, for the two courses, an 11 under, fantastic. So last year, the winners were 13 under, but we played 2 rounds at Maxwell Brace.
Yep.
So, but great job, Michael. It was awesome. And it seemed to be clean. He came in second so he had to leapfrog, and I think he was down by 2 strokes coming out of Bailey's. So
yeah, I know he played pretty well at Bailey's, but I heard that because I forgot who he was going up against, but yeah, and then there was a playoff in I think at least 2 divisions. Yeah, so that's
but there were 11 divisions total. And then Burton Bluff, who was a local glass blower, actually made some pretty cool little
I saw those
glass eggs.
Yeah.
So, and next year he has like big plans, and we're going to work together. So I'll use my CNC to carve out some bases, and then he's going to make
awesome
stuff that
that's
fits
cool.
him. So for next year, he's super excited about it. And, they were reasonable, like for custom glass blown trophies, like he helped us out a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I gave him more money than he asked for, just because I was just like,
because I know the winners got plaques too.
Yeah, they got the plaques that said the thing, and then they got that little blown, glass blown,
that's
cool.
Hand
glass blown stuff. So, hopefully they enjoyed it and they liked that portion of it. It was a little different. So, like at Fall Classic, we give out pies.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that's that. Outside of that, is there anything else?
I don't think so. Not that I can think of.
All right. So $10,000 matching. PaulMcBethFoundation.org. PaulMcBethFoundation.org. Jump on there, donate. I'll match it. So whatever you donate up to $10,000, I will match it. Well, up to $10,000 total of the people that have donated. So you have about $7,900 more to donate. Let's make it happen in April. I'd love to give my money away, especially to go to a cause like this. So,
and where's the next course?
The Uganda, so Africa. They're going to do. They've only announced Uganda yet, and then there's going to be 2 other courses. So there'll be 118 and 2 9s, and they're going to do one at a. So they've announced the location of 2 of them, and then the third one is a surprise as of yet.
Oh, cool.
But there'll be one on a college campus, and then there'll be one at a local nonprofit or mission. I think it'll be a 9-hole, kind of like what they did down in Belize.
Yeah.
So, yep. So go on there, donate. In the month of April, matching funds up to $10,000. So you can donate up to $20,000 to the Paul McBeth Foundation. You can find us at door_disc_golf. And our link tree is right there. There's actually a donate button in our link tree for the Paul McBeth Foundation. Where can they find you?
onenight.owl on Instagram.
All right. And I think outside of that, watch the mansplaining and keep it subpar. Peace.